Welcome to this video on the Cold War, fear, paranoia, and power, spanning the 1950s and 1960s. We will dive into 2 decades that defined modern geopolitics, shaped global culture, and brought the world close to nuclear annihilation. We begin with Chapter 1, the dawn of a new global rivalry. This phase saw the rapid breakdown of the wartime alliance and the establishment of 2 opposing global superpowers. The Great Alliance fractured after World War II. The U.S. championed capitalism and democracy, while the Soviet Union promoted communism and centralized control. Key concerns included Soviet expansion in Eastern Europe and the U.S. monopoly on atomic weapons until 1949. In 1946, Winston Churchill warned, "An iron curtain has descended across the continent, solidifying the ideological and physical split between Soviet-controlled Eastern Europe and the democratic West." This division was starkly visible in Germany, which was partitioned, leading to major conflicts like the Berlin blockade. Chapter 2 focuses on the Red Scare and McCarthyism, the pervasive fear at home in the United States. Post-war paranoia took hold, fueled by real espionage cases. The House Un-American Activities Committee, or HUAC, aggressively investigated suspected communists, blacklisting many in Hollywood. President Truman's loyalty review boards further intensified this climate of suspicion. Republican Senator Joseph McCarthy became the face of anti-communist hysteria, making baseless accusations that destroyed careers. His bullying tactics were exposed during the 1954 Army McCarthy hearings, leading to his eventual censure by the Senate. The infamous question, "Are you now or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?" destroyed lives. The blacklist extended far beyond Hollywood, compromising democratic principles in the name of national security. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover expanded surveillance during the Red Scare, targeting organizations deemed subversive through COINTELPRO operations. The FBI maintained extensive files on millions of Americans, violating civil liberties in the process. Chapter 3 examines the global reach of the conflict through proxy wars and global flashpoints. The Korean War was the Cold War's first hot war, testing America's containment policy. U.S. and UN forces fought North Korean and Chinese troops to a brutal stalemate, resulting in a divided and militarized Korean peninsula. The nuclear arms race escalated rapidly. The Soviet Union developed its atomic bomb in 1949, and both nations soon developed the far more powerful hydrogen bomb. This created the doctrine of mutual assured destruction and unprecedented global anxiety. The Soviet launch of Sputnik in 1957 shocked America, revealing a perceived technological gap. The Sputnik crisis led to the creation of NASA and massive investment in science education, turning the space race into a symbol of ideological superiority. Chapter 4 addresses the Cuban Missile Crisis, a period of intense brinkmanship and global fear. In October 1962, U-2 spy planes discovered Soviet nuclear missile installations in Cuba. President Kennedy initiated a naval quarantine. For 13 tense days, the world stood on the edge of nuclear war until secret negotiations led to a resolution. The crisis led to the establishment of the Moscow-Washington Hotline for direct communication. Both sides signed the Limited Test Ban Treaty, marking the first significant arms control agreement. The lessons learned established the importance of crisis management and diplomacy. Chapter 5 explores Cold War paranoia in American culture and its reflection in everyday life and entertainment. Rod Serling's The Twilight Zone mirrored society's fears through allegory. Episodes explored themes like conformity, invasion, and paranoia, making abstract fears about McCarthyism and totalitarianism concrete for millions of viewers. Public safety campaigns like, quote, "duck and cover," normalized the nuclear threat for schoolchildren. Families built backyard fallout shelters, which became physical manifestations of the era's invisible, catastrophic fears. Literature and film also captured the suspicion. Orwell's 1984 resonated deeply with fears of state surveillance. Films like Invasion of the Body Snatchers reflected the anxiety that the enemy could be anyone, eroding trust. Our final chapter, Chapter 6, focuses on the legacy of Cold War paranoia and its lasting effects. The McCarthy era established dangerous precedents, eroding due process and creating blacklists outside the legal system. Cold War security measures normalized government surveillance, leaving long-term psychological scars and damaging social trust. The global landscape saw the Sino-Soviet split, complicating the Cold War. Proxy wars multiplied across the developing world, devastating nations caught between competing ideologies. Both superpowers supported regimes aligned with their interests, often at the expense of human rights. Cold War paranoia fundamentally shaped modern security policy, leading to the expansion of intelligence agencies and classification systems. The ideological battles normalized, treating political opponents as existential threats, and public skepticism toward government increased after surveillance revelations. The Cold War was a profound crisis that transformed societies. Its legacy demonstrates how external threats can justify internal oppression. Understanding this paranoia is essential for safeguarding democracy and maintaining the critical balance between security and freedom today.